These sound bites are brought to you by 365daysofnutrition.com. Sat round Jen's lovely kitchen table after having just been fed some gorgeous, nourishing, healthy pea soup and homemade bread, Jen. What can I say?
You're very welcome.
And today we just wanted to talk to you about sugar.
Yeah, big topic.
It is a big topic.
Really big. And when I speak to people, generally speaking, the one that people find one of the biggest challenges is sugar addiction or bringing down sugar, or not realising that they're eating food that's got so much hidden sugar in it.
Yeah, so the hidden sugars are an absolute sod.
They really are. But a little tip of what you can do is if you're buying a product that's pre-made, so if you're in a rush and you're going to the supermarket, if you look at the ingredients list, any ingredient ending in the letters OSE is a sugar. So then you will know it is sugar, it's full of fructose or glucose or anything along those lines. So it's something that maybe you want to try and avoid.
Okay, I didn't know that
There
myself.
you go.
But the only thing I find with looking at ingredients around the supermarket is I need to take a magnifying glass in there to see them because I can't see the ingredients anymore.
It's a real challenge.
It is.
And when you're talking about sugar, lots of people might also be sitting here thinking, well, actually, I don't have a sweet tooth.
Oh, I've always thought that.
But
Yeah. It creeps in.
It creeps in, and any white carbohydrates, so white bread, white rice, white pasta, white potatoes, crisps, any along those lines, they're treated in your body in exactly the same way as sugar is. So when we're talking about sugar, it's more of a simple carbohydrate rather than it just being sugar itself.
Okay, so this is a short soundbite, but I'm going to jump in with a bit of a topic here
Go
because
for it.
I feel I've come to understand that when I get stressed and I've got a right lot on my plate, I just reach for the carbs, and when it gets super awful, I'm right in there with the carbs and the sugary stuff. You know, chocolate, which I don't like actually, but I will eat it when I'm in a real bad place.
Really natural response, and so many people do, and there's a physical reason for it but also emotional reasons too. And physically it really helps to boost your serotonin, which helps boost all the endorphins and the
because you just want to say pick me, make me feel good, don't you?
You want that. If you're stressed, your body wants to feel relaxed, and carbohydrate and sugar are one of the ways that our bodies do it. When you get really stressed as well, often when you were little, potentially, you might have had that reward mechanism of, you've fallen over, have some chocolate buttons.
You see it all the way, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. I do it with my children. And you think, no, stop it, Jen.
Well, you're not like to say, here, have a carrot.
No, they'll be like, that carrot is not going to help my scratched knee, Mum. Take that carrot. Yeah. So it's a real double whammy of why we do it. But then a lot of the time you start to beat yourself up and you feel really bad that you've eaten the sugar, so then you want to eat more of it. And it's really, really addictive. But there's lots that you can do in really simple ways to trick the body and to try and cut your sugar levels down. First of all, I'd say definitely start reading the packaging of anything you're buying, and then make some simple switches. So rather than white bread, white rice, white pasta, go for the wholemeal versions or the brown rice, because actually they really slow down how quickly the sugar's released to your bloodstream, which really stops that energy dip, which then makes you crave more sugar.
So that puts you on an even keel.
Absolutely.
And actually, I struggle hard to eat wholemeal everything.
Okay.
But if I can mix it with some white,
fine.
It's a compromise.
And it's perfect. For some people, you might be able to make, all the switches straight to wholemeal, not a problem. If you're somewhere in between, then absolutely fine to do that. If you really can't tolerate it and it doesn't suit your digestive system, try boosting up your protein intake. So that is any animal products, but also nuts and seeds, nut butter, cashew nut butter, even peanut butter, anything like that. If you have protein with your meal or with your snack, that really helps to fill you up and to stop you craving sugar.
It kind of puts the lid on the sugar craving, you're saying.
Absolutely, it does. And when we look at why we crave it, it is all to do with the endorphins. It's if your energy levels get too low, but also when we were breastfed, when you look at what's in breast milk, it's got equal parts to carbohydrate with protein and with fat. So our bodies
programmed
physically
from the get-go
want to have this as a really nourishing way of eating. If you look at things like dairy milk or milk chocolate, that's got equal quantities in exactly the same way that breast milk did, which is why your body can start to really crave it.
Yeah.
So, little tip, if you want to beat the sugar cravings, have a piece of fruit, so maybe an apple, and then put some nuts or some nut butter with it. So suddenly you're getting the carbohydrate from the apple and the protein, the fat from the nut butter, and your body really easily gets tricked into having that same satisfied feeling it does when you eat sugar.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
I like a little hack or two. Now, I believe one of our posts in 365 covers off a recipe that delivers that, or it tells you what to do.
Yes.
And there's also a really great recipe in there for seeds sprinkled with cinnamon, and I mean, that's as healthy as it gets, but oh my goodness, the minute I read it, before I'd even tried them, I was like, I could smell the cinnamon, and
it's brilliant. And you touched on cinnamon. Cinnamon's a brilliant spice at stabilising blood sugar. You know, you can buy it in any supermarket, and if you're having yogurt, you're having porridge, even if you're having a bowl of custard, putting half a teaspoon of cinnamon in makes all the difference.
Yeah, it just gives it a bit of an added kind of sweetness, if you like, but it's not, is it?
It's not at all. No. And it really, again, helps. There's a hormone called insulin, and we produce lots of insulin when we have lots of sugar, and cinnamon really helps your body respond to the insulin it's producing to stop having such a big amount being produced in the body. And insulin is this hormone that's getting quite a lot of press at the moment for lots of negative health reasons, you know, from inflammation to metabolic syndrome. So the more we're looking at it and more we're looking at bringing down your insulin, cinnamon, protein, complex carbohydrate, really, really good ideas. And if anybody was really struggling, thinking, I've got such a sweet tooth, I don't know what to do, then when you look at 365 and we start to look at gut health, that will make a really big difference. But the other little hack, if you're into them,
we like hacks,
that you could do is to give yourself a 30-minute window every day that you're going to eat the sugar in. I would say normally have it after lunch, so that way then you're not having that I'm never eating sugar, therefore all you want to do is eat sugar.
Yeah.
Just after lunch you could have from 1:30 to 2 when you're full up from your lunch, thinking in that half an hour, eat your sugar, whatever you want. There's only so much damage you can do in 30 minutes.
I've got this image of me just stuffing it in.
Yeah, Mummy can't talk right now, I've got 28 minutes to go.
Exactly right, yeah.
But if you're full up from your lunch, your stomach won't be able to handle so much. But again, psychologically, you know you get to have a little bit of sugar every day, and again that can actually really help to break that big cycle of I'm not having any, suddenly floodgates open and you spend the next 6 weeks eating it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also as you move through the programme, something that I've certainly recognised in myself is there's a pattern when I've got a lot on my plate. I try to deal with stress very differently to how I did prior to my diagnosis now. So I'm much more laid back about things and don't get my knickers in a twist so much, and everything seems to work out. However, I do notice when I've got a lot coming that immediately I just dive into all the stuff I shouldn't, and I could have been on a really good track. But all of a sudden you just find yourself thrown off of it, and you have to then clamber back up the bank to get back on and keep yourself in a good space.
But you know what, that response is a really natural response to have. So if that's a response you do get, don't beat yourself up about it. Observe it.
Yeah, I guess if you become aware of it, you're a bit more prepared for when it happens, and some of the time you'll be able to head it off at the pass.
Absolutely. And during the 365 programme, like you said, there's some really good recipes, and I think it's week 12 or 13, we spend a week of just looking at sweet alternative recipes. So if your freezer was full up of things like the chocolate beetroot brownie,
which I can testify are delicious.
They are. Then if your body's wanting that chocolate hit, you've got things that you can go and eat from the freezer. They defrost in 20 minutes, half an hour. So you're having that satisfied feeling without actually going down the route of eating loads and loads of sugar again. And again, it's about just tricking your body, boosting your body. And when we talk about gut health in a different podcast, you can start to see how these bacteria can have a really big influence on your mood when you're stressed, and also your sugar cravings. So listen to that podcast too, because that can really be another big building block about this sugar craving and how to get around it.
Brilliant. So there's our little soundbite for sugar. I'm sure there's a million other connotations on it. And
absolutely, we could be here for hours.
We could. But there we are with that one. So next up is gut health, I think. And hope you've learnt something and can apply that into your lives easily, shall I say, which is what we're all about.
Absolutely.
Great to greater in an easy style. Yeah.
Sounds good.
If you like this soundbite from 365daysofnutrition.com, comment on it, like it, or share it.